Hello and welcome back to the Xpert 11 Road to Glory series, where in the last episode we exited the cup at the hands of Division 3 side Cardiff Dragons, and in this episode we will be facing 7th place Deep. Now, while Deep are in 7th place, they have picked up a few good results against teams higher up in the standings, and they have picked up a couple of draws, so we have to be careful with this one as it could easily quite backfire on us. So anyway, let's take a look at Deep's squad and see what it looks like. Deep's squad is like Blue Force before us, only a bit stronger as they have more skilled players that they have bought, especially during the mid-season where they bought Rajoy, Lusanian and Kyland. They have also reduced their squad recently, selling 2 defenders, so as things stand, the club only has 14 players. Of note, I mentioned in the previous Team of the Week section of the previous video that Heriberto Di Toledo, their striker, has played in the Hat-Trick League Top Flight, a league like the Ultimate League but different teams, for a team known as Los Niso, and he was sold to Deep a few seasons ago. Knights are about Ledley King, still out with the massively long injury he picked up in the league game against Blue Force. So as a result, he missed the game against Cardiff Dragons, he will miss this game against Deep, and he will miss the game after this against Real Madrid, but he'll be back for the second half of the season, hopefully. Deep line up in a 3-5-2 formation with Jimmy Darby in goal, a back three of Dudamel Navunga, Aurelio Rajoy and Rich Lucinian, a midfield of Sorda Manto, Matthias Moll, Amber O'Meary, Fred Kylan and Jarl Karlström, and a front two of Heriberto Di Toledo and Mauriciac Muriang. Ibrahim Qamara is the player to fill in for Ledley King for us, while Pierre Of Hesslink steps in to replace Ray Tataw Eta in the starting 11. The team we've got is Ant Conley in goal, a back four of Pim van der Kruis, Ibrahim Qamara, Aquila Santa Maria and Pedro Miramontes, a midfield of Sergei Kvyatkovsky, Pierre Of Hesslink, Alvito Roma, Y Junior and Raymond Hargreaves, and a front low man of Celso Mota. Let's go live to the Deep arena for the match. Captains for this match are Jimmy Darby for Deep, and for Knights of Cydonia, our standing captain with Ledley King injured is Pedro Miramontes. Referee is Charlie Fender, aka the worst referee in the game, skill 2, harshness 1. Deep line up in a 3-5-2 formation, playing the black kit from left to right. Knights in the 4-5-1 formation, playing from right to left. The other matches in the division see Sham in a massive game against Real Madrid, so first take on third. Meanwhile, King Punks take on P4AHFC, and Gorgie Thistle have a rather simple task of Blue Force to try and haul themselves out of the relegation zone. And we're underway. And Knights have a chance in the first minute of the game with a power shot goal by Alvito Roma from a distance, and it's easily saved by Jimmy Darby. Roma didn't quite pull off what he wanted to do there. 7 minutes played, and Knights are currently drawing 0-0. There's been goals in the King Punks P4H game. It's 1-1 already. Jarl Karlström has shot and scored a goal for Deep. Inside 15 minutes, Jarl Karlström has given the 7th place team a shock lead against the team that was second going in today's game. Reverse shot on Taekwondo from Celso Mota and equalises. Celso Mota has not left us behind for long. 2 minutes after Deep went ahead, Celso Mota slots home a pass from Alvito Roma to give us an equaliser, and Shao have taken the lead against Real Madrid, so that's a really big result for us. Celso Mota tries to chip the ball to the keeper, splashes into the crossbar. Mota looking for another goal there. Gorgie Thistle are pretty much now cruising against Blue Force. As we can see that Sham leading against Real Madrid. King Punks P4H has a draw. Trying to go by Celso Mota. He scores again! Celso Mota makes it 2-1 to Knights of Cydonia. Knights have the lead in the game now. So that was a good turnaround there. Let's take a look at Deep's history. Apparently Deep have had a great deal of success during their short history of 4 seasons, as they've won promotion to Division twice in their 4 seasons to go straight from Division 7 to Division 5. And then in the first half, Knights have dominated the chances, but Deep have scored from their only chance, so it is currently 2-1. In the other matches in the division, P4AH lead against the King Punks, Sham are ahead against Real Madrid, and Gorgie Thistle winning against Blue Force. So as things stand, all the matches are wins. Second half gets underway. Knights lead 2-1, reduced 2 goals from Celso Mota after Jarl Karlström gave Deep the early lead. We've got penalty! Penalty in just 52 minutes. Pim van der Kruis has a chance to score another penalty. He's taken in quite quickly now, and he has scored for the 3rd league game in a row. Penalty from Pim van der Kruis, his 3rd penalty in a row to give Knights a 3-1 lead against Deep. And we've got another chance here. Raymond Hargreaves steers the ball towards the goal and scores! We're just flying in now. They're just flying to the net. Jimmy Darby's had an awful start to the first half and Knights now lead 4-1, but deep here coming the counter attack with Matthias Mole and high above the goal. Not really any threat whatsoever. So, as things stand, it is currently 4-1 to Knights. Deep applying some pressure here though. We could be in deep trouble here. It's O'Meary and it's stopped by the keeper. Fortunately, O'Meary isn't the best skilled of free kick takers, and Ant Connolly was easily able to deal with his free kick. We're going to try and go by Celso Mota! Hat-trick for Celso Mota! 5-1 Knights of Cydonia. Celso Mota with another career hat-trick, and he is pretty much clear as our all-time top goal scorer. He's scored over 30 goals for the club now. That's such an achievement for just a 23-year-old striker, remember. We've got another kick by Celso Mota. Can he make it 4? And it's just wide. Currently leading 5-1. As we stand, Sham are still winning against Real Madrid. And Celso Mota tries to fit the ball to the keeper's legs. Nowhere near the goal. And Tofik Palmer is on for Muset Nyang. And meanwhile, they're going to bring on Santoro for Dunavunga. So they're making a few changes at half time to give their fringe players some time, including a very promising youth in Jamie Bowling, who should probably get a bit more playing time than he is. And that is the end of the game and the end of the match. Deep 1, Knights of Cydonia 5. That's an overwhelmingly convincing victory, and due to how other results have gone in the division, it puts us up to second place in the playoff spot of all places. I must admit, I didn't think it was going to be challenging quite that early, but then again, we do have a double header against Real Madrid to come, which will shape the rest of the season. Heriberto Di Toledo was the man of the match for Deep, while Pedro Miramontes was the man of the match for Knights of Cydonia. While despite Deep taking the lead inside 15 minutes, that turned out to be a very comfortable victory. We had quite the comfortable victory. It's probably the most convincing defeat Deep have had all season. They've been proven pretty hard to beat, even with their weaker team. And that's mainly because they've been trying to reorganise the team and rebuild them into a much stronger one, as you can see by the funds that they have spent on uber skilled players like Di Toledo, Lucinian and Lajoy, and Keelan for that matter. Anyway, we had a huge advantage from predicting their 3-5-2 because it was a formation that they'd organised their team into, but not one they had played that much. They only played it once in their last 3 games, so by guessing that we had a huge advantage and were able to win the game quite comfortably. Now let's take a look at the team of the week. Team of the week is Cornelius Horsch of Sham and goal, back for Pedro Miramontes, Knights of Cydonia, Juliano Amparo, Sham, Fortunato Cortez, Sham, and Rodrigo Leonardo, P4HFC. Midfielder Fraser Inkster, Gorgie Thistle, Fabio Mirko, Sham, Gerard Mayborn, P4HFC, and Julian Minto, Sham. At the front 2 of Eusebio Sierra, P4HFC, and Jonathan Sidwell, Sham. Manager of the round is Rafa for PM of P4HFC for his win over the King Punks. So let's see how the latest results have affected the standings. Sham currently lead the division on 16 points, having not lost a single game so far, and it looks like they're going to convincingly take out the division in the style we did last season, although they have drawn again, so maybe not quite so, but even so they are on course for an unbeaten season. It looks like everyone else is playing for a playoff place or relegation. It is very tight between positions 2 and 6. Knights hold second place outright despite losing twice during the season. The goal difference stats suggest that we are here on merit, having taken 12 points from our first 6 league games, scored 15 goals and conceded just 5. P4H have moved up to 3rd place in the league ahead of Real Madrid, who were in 3rd place and level on points with us previously, but they have dropped to 4th place on 9 points. Gorgie Thistle are now just 1 point behind Real Madrid in 5th place, and the King Punks drop into the relegation zone. And that's it for this episode. With Deep in 7th place and Blue Force in 8th, it leaves me to tell you that our next game is against Real Madrid in the first of the double headers. Now, a win over Real Madrid could give us a real shot at this second place that we currently find ourselves in. Otherwise, we'll probably end up having to settle for a season of survival in Division 5. But anyway, see you next time!